it go. Yeah, let's get going. Let it go. Yeah, me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah, me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give your heart to Jesus. Let him take control. Just sit and worship. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not a secret anyways. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband fall in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live easy around, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if you say you will continue to be a zobo, if you say you will continue to be a prostitute, if you say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If you say your need is for a borrow, some they go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny Ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go. 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 Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go, man.
Might blow. Holla, holla. Nobody do it like you do it. You a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Jenna said, in the place in this new world, read the power every day. And while I'm still a good boy, Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, He will make your blessing overflow. So be the best and money.
Okay, good evening. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. As usual, here this evening to take on community issue and national issue. Welcome to the program here this evening. What a beautiful beginning of the week. Thank you for sharing your evening to your morning with us, wherever you are. Thank you. Just share the video for us, the best you can do to keep the conversation going.
It's not your denial, everybody know. Just keep on trusting in Jehovah, He will give you more. He took it from the grass, He can take it from the rock and roll.
Let it go, let it go, let it go.
Okay, here we go. Good evening, good morning, depending on your location, to all our valuable viewers. Our man Abu is here always on time. I want to thank you to all of our great people, Vanin, Paul, Gono, of course, CC right there in Des Moines, Iowa. So good evening. This is the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We're here to bring you news, information, and entertainment, educative, and of course to also make you to feel part of the conversation. It is about Liberia, and so we all have a shared responsibility. I have to deal with someone here again this evening, as usual. They say there is no bad bush for a child. When a child say, "I don't care how the child is horrible," you can't. Your child is your child. You can't throw the child away. Even that a big brother, a high, they gotta say the family tree it can bend, but it doesn't break. It doesn't break. So yes, we gotta deal with him. Let me just bring him. He's standing by right there in Sastan, Sacramento, from Toton to the USA, living in the Hollywood land. Can you imagine? Yeah, the man from Toton. Man used to run beyond groundhog, Tabadu. You know what they call crime man said Tabadu? The man used to run behind nothing there. Whole day locking trap, putting trap down here in America. But he's still giving back to his people. The liberal progressives, Samson, Bloku Branto. Here we go. Okay, the man from Totan.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Thank you very much for that beautiful, beautiful introduction.
Well, it was on top of it, right? Good intro.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, big brother, the Dwayne himself. Good evening. One thing you don't get mad. I don't know. Do you get vexed sometimes?
Sometimes, but not with people that I know who meant not much in terms of getting me upset. I'm Roku. Not
So,
even you with your conservative view will get up to me. I'm Roku.
so
Elephant scheme, a too take for anybody. My haim fein ya more, their haim fein my more. Wow, get better with them.
I know you're here almost when you somebody. I know you're here almost when you Baron Brown mob you also. I didn't hear. I think I need to be calling Baron Brown here to calm you down.
Young man,
Hey, Pat George is doing well. Pat George is doing great. He's on a vacation. He in Moravia right now. Let me just, I'll come remember. He in Moravia. When he come back, then he will start acting a little chihuahua. Try. See, let me tell you something. Right now, when you say come program, he say, Oh God, yeah. So, Fofana, thank you so much. Pat George is all right. Kazot, my own cardinal, the brother, CM policy advisor to Ambassador Boyka. You support Ome Boyka. Why you don't? Kasali, you and Kasali had a good time here. Why you don't even? Why you hiding the woman number from us for us to talk to him?
When we know where CPP stand, his number will be available to all of you to talk to him, I believe. I'm not speaking for any of them.
What are you talking about? So why are you saying when CPP stand?
I'm just saying I'm guessing. As far as I'm concerned, I think they will make themselves available once the CPP process is done with.
You know what? If I don't know. I think I have to reach out to Kazo himself, because if I wait for you, it will never happen. It will never happen. I don't know. You just love come here and I preach and talk everything about the old man, but you're not willing. So I don't think these people even know you. You're squeezing yourself on them for whatever reason. I don't know. Do they know you?
Mr. So, it is not about who knows me or who don't know me. It is about the Republic of Liberia.
Oh, please give me a break. What?
Mr. So, none of these people, what do they have? What Anthony Cassidy get to give me? What Dr. Baka get to give me? What any of these people have to give me? Nothing. I want nothing from anybody. All I want from them is to be able to take my country to the next level. That's all I ask of them. They got nothing to give me.
Okay, Brother Carl, welcome. Following from Liberia, thank you for being out here. And, and this is what we like here because people use or spend their hard-earned money in data or whatever to listen. But last night, there was a guy who messaged me too from my Grand G. He said he was monitoring. In fact, he tweeted that online, and he was kind of unhappy because the conversations, according to him, they went well. It was all about the country and stuff like that. Yeah, what they have to give you. I just got a message here now. Secret PA, Total Grand Jide Highway, when Dr. Ambassador Boyka is elected. How's that?
Well, yes, I don't mind, but I don't want employment. I don't want employment. I can do it without being employed. They already have qualified Liberian who can be Minister of Public Works. They have qualified Liberian who can be deputized to be able to run the ministry. I don't need employment.
What you need?
What I do want is to be able to teach those who go into, and here's the interesting thing, Mr. So, since you now bring this up, let me just say here very quickly. All along, and I don't mind eating crow again tonight. Like I said, I'm block cool.
Yeah,
I'm
from Bay State. Why?
So I don't mind eating crow again tonight. I've always on my show, and even on your show, and even when we have these gatherings, I always stated that these people seem like they don't know what they're doing in Liberia in terms of engineering. That they have no clue what engineering, roadway construction engineering is all about. Wrong. These people are so capable. Mr. So I have with me a document that was put together by that was put together by Public Works. And I've been doing the engineering job here for more than 30 some more years. And things that they wrote in that document, unless they were doing copy and paste, which I don't believe, things that they wrote in that document, the explanation they gave in that document, what things that they're looking for in that they wrote in that document is amazing. Some of the engineering terminology that you will use, even here in California, that any engineer here in California will be able to understand. That's exactly the roadmap these people were looking for. The question then is this: having had this idea now that these people are capable, why are they not manufacturing themselves? Why are they not coming up with these kinds of brilliant ideas to put on paper? Why are they not able to transfer that to the actual roadway construction? So then the question then is, what's happening here? Why do they have so much disconnect? In the paper that I have with me, Mr. So, they tell you about the safety aspect of road construction. They tell you about the safety aspect of building construction. They tell you that when you build a building, you must have a parking lot, and you must have a specific size of parking lot based on the size of the building, also based on the occupancies of the building, based on the functionalities of the building. They have everything in that paper from Public Works. But yet still, when they do these buildings, you don't even see parking lot. So where is the disconnect?
So that's a concern because I know you kind of like, was that yesterday we were having this conversation and you said the document you saw, it was something, it was up to standard. Was that yesterday you were talking about?
Yes.
So then what is lacking here? You're saying one thing and then you're doing different thing, or is that document is being used to twist the mind of the international to donors to say, okay, this meets our criteria, our standard, but you know what, we have the real one in the backyard? Is that a case or what?
Well, Mr. So,
we don't know.
I'm going to speculate. I'm going to speculate. I'm blocking. What do you do to me? Nothing. This is what I'm going to speculate. They put these things together because in this engineering business, you put what they call binder, paperwork together. It's an idea of what when you be selling the idea. Here in California, when you're going to do roads and things like that, you visit the community. And when you visit a community, you tell the community what the roads is about. You put on pony and tail, whatever show and stuff like that. However, you use that same document to sell. So I believe, and I'm speculating now, I believe that these people are public works. These engineers are public work. They are very smart and they know exactly what to do. However, the document that I have, I think it's a document that they put together to sell to these donors for money. Then when they get the money, they most likely are not doing what they said they were going to do. I mean, Mr. So, it is unbelievable. They tell you the size of the road. They tell you the size of the length of the road. They tell you what type of paint to use as a striping paint. Everything that I've been doing for the last 20 some more years with Caltrain, exactly in that book. When I read it, I was so happy. Then I started thinking to myself, let's look at the role in which is also donor funded role. Let's look at the role in I call it Doe community, far from construction purpose. Perfect. Let's look at the Me Highway, Ralphie Highway, and look at the construction process that is happening now. Far disconnect. What is happening is unbelievable.
Okay.
So,
well,
I'm not too sure why they do that, but I would suspect that because they want the money to come in so they make it look pretty. But they make it look pretty, they're not fooling around. It's a real stuff. But why is it that when they get these projects that they don't follow up?
when
We'll find that out.
The conversation is about to start. The Liberal Progressive is based in Saxtown. Let's get the ball rolling. Folks, welcome to the Talking Point. It's conversation with Samson To. He yet to complete his training. But when it comes to road and elevation, scale elevation, and slope, water can sit down. It's a soil. It can get it talking. It can get it doing. But let's have the conversation. Okay, good evening. Good morning, folks. Welcome to this podcast here this evening. I'm Alfonso Z, and so as usual, take me out. Everybody. When you're ready, you describe us here with days. We can sanction people. You see, people fans of Pat George. They are asking, where is Pat George? The day you're not here, everybody feel happy because of your.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I was just getting ready to interrupt. Look at the writing the man somebody wrote over there. Mr. So, the person said, why will you not talk to me? He said, Mr. What did he say? Oh, hi to everyone watching from Cedar Rock. Mr. So, you're looking great. Is that you have on? Liberian flag. What's about me? I got Liberian flag behind me. Why you can praise me? Eh? I got true Liberian color behind me. The man wearing the thing, Liberian. I got a true Liberian color behind me. Why you can praise me? Why are you praising Mr. So? That's why. But and so Mr. George, the center right. You know, one thing I noticed about our audience, I want to speculate that many of them, they are conservatives. And they like you and Mr. George because Mr. George is a center right and you're far right. Mr. George is a center right. And so I think they like you guys. But here's what I want them to know. My liberal view are not here to be compromised. They are mine and they stay as liberal as long as I'm here. So whether you praise Mr. So, you don't praise me, that's fine.
Are you here to make fuss with your audience? Because
no, but I'm not making fuss with them. Just let them praise me too.
You want to elevate your cholesterol, your blood pressure?
No, I'm jealous. That got nothing to do with cholesterol. I'm jealous. I don't praise you and he praise me.
You were still on inside, my son. Get over it. Okay, folks, welcome. This is what we do here, and we really appreciate you. Tomorrow is what? Tuesday. I'm not sure whether you're going to be on here, but It's an open mic conversation with Samson too. We're going to be having a wide range of issue here. Let's do a quick run through here on some of the news making headlines. As usual, we always like to share some of the happenings across the globe, Africa, beyond Africa, and other parts of the world. Let's see what is coming from Ethiopia. Ethiopia forces says they are recaptured 2 key towns from rebel forces, according to defense sources in Addis Ababa, pushing the Tigrans rebels. Man, that country been in a fight for, I don't know, before we're born. Why is it like that?
Mr. So,
I think I need to take a visit in that place here. But hey, if I don't know. Yeah, that Ethiopia, Uganda is kind of quiet down a little bit. Museveni, the long-term rebel man turned president now too, so is that, but age is catching up with me. Ethiopia, Uganda, Sudan, and which other country you think you got? These countries, they have been in fight for a hell of a long time. I just don't get it.
Well, what I suspect is that these people, many of their leadership, are just greedy. Simple, and that's what we missed. That's what Liberia missed. I know people will not agree with me, but many of our leaders, especially after the war, their focus is to make sure Liberians serve themselves. And so you have Madam Salih came in, her time was over. Of course, I didn't like the way she left.
When age was in her favor, she would still be there. So
no, she was not going to change the constitution. It's not in her spirit. It's not in her.
Oh, please.
She was not going to do that. But the only thing I don't like is that she didn't hold Dr. Barker's hand. That's the part that I don't like. However, Dr. Weah is here.
Is he a baby?
Dr. Weah is here. His turn going to be over. He's going to be defeated, and he will leave graciously without any kinds of stuff. And so these people, these leaders that we have, including Dr. Weah, they are not of a greedy nature in terms of politics or in terms of greed for power. So I think we're lucky that we don't have people like Samuel Tuah to be president, because then we won't have these kinds of conversations.
Why are you saying they didn't hold Ambassador Boyka's hand? That's why he can't walk?
Because he was the vice president for 12 years, and when you're leaving, it's just a matter of courtesy, human decency. You hold Dr. Barker's hand and say, "This is the." Excuse me.
To carry him where?
To be president of the Republic of Liberia. What do you mean to carry him where? He carried her for 12 years. He carried her for 12 years. Why can't she carry him for one 6 years?
I feel bad for you. We don't hold people's hand and make them president. Okay. So if that's why you see people when after one person you hold another person after the other person.
You will be inside for a long time. Once the CPP take control, Dr. Barker take it, Dr. Barker leave, come in take it, after coming leave, my political leader Yombly take it, after Yombly leave, Darren's Dillon take it, after Darren Dillon leave, Costa take it.
I think that's Susu, that one that I'm
well, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm just giving it to you as it is.
Wow. Nobody should call you to be closer to them to say you're going to advise, because it would be a terrible thing. Okay, so let's see here. 3 more hostages are released in Haiti, according to U.S. mission group. You know, Haiti, the men that gunned down their president. Man, it's crazy. 3 persons are being released. According to Al Jazeera, a report from Rwanda said the government is enforcing policies to encourage people to for milk consumption. They want people to drink milk. So the squeezing the cow. Paul Kagame is playing his game. It looks like he knows exactly, or I'm not sure whether he a soothsayer or who he is, but he plays right into the hands what the people want. That's what we do. But the liberal tomorrow, Wednesday, right? You put a bill.
Mr. So, let me answer one of our viewers here. Yes, this is.
Will you please start making fuss about people?
No, he asking whether it's a mineral water. Yeah, mineral water, pure water. That don't kill you. That don't kill you here.
That pound one in there.
That pound. You know, see white people put pound one in bottle before.
He put it in a transparent bottle. Just here, oh, so that Susu government you're advocating for?
Mr. So, I'm giving you my view. And if you think it's a Susu, I'm just telling you.
This is how information is being processed. You are giving inside source of the intent of you guys. So it's like because they are seeing you, they are observe you, and they say, you know what, the only person who can whisper to and can get this message, because Alfonso will not say a, Pa George will not say a, and whatever it is, but the only person that get the bravery to say it, because he calls himself Blaku. So when it coming out, no break. It just when he accelerate, he accelerate.
Mr. So, all of these people that are named, they have the ability to win an election. They're not going to come into the position by force. They're not going to come to this position here by means of crooks or whatever. Let me start again. Maybe you didn't hear my position clearly. Let me name the people.
We will hold their hand, right?
Let me forget about holding hand.
No,
the Liberian people will elect these people. The Liberian people will elect. Dr. Baka will be the first person the Liberian people will elect. Then Honorable Cummings will be the second the Liberian people will elect. Then Honorable Nyomli Kanga will be the third the Liberian people will elect. Then, in fact, I left out a name. Oh my goodness, did I do that? Then Senator Dillon will be the fourth person they will elect. Finally, no, not finally. Then Yeka Koloba will be the next in line. Then Henry Costa will be the final nail in the Liberian leadership position that we're putting together here, Mr. So.
I want to see the Koloba presidency in Liberia because you will frog a police director. I want to see the Koloba presidency because you yourself,
no, people like Yeka Koloba when he's president. You know who's going to be a person who he like to be the vice president for him? Mary bro. Anybody you get around for, you start fooling them, they beat you right there. You ain't gonna come waste time with you and say who you are. Well, you can't, Maria.
You want to start beating people?
Anybody you wear the beret, you run here around here, south. They will tell you, say, don't do that here. They place a civil country. That's south business.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna mix it up here this evening, but interestingly, Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to be having some folks here. Are you aware that the county meet? And we want to throw this out here. This is where we need to also make an impact, regardless of our political differences or whatever it is in Liberia. If we want people to listen to our county meet, are you aware the county meet is coming on? Something to?
What do you want me to do?
I'm asking, are you aware
of what?
The county meet, the annual county meet.
Yes, it's yearly stuff. Wow. But
okay, is partial the fixture here. I will be hosting Wednesday here, Wednesday 5, a group calling itself this is a Jida Sport Fan Base. They are young Liberians here, based here in the United States and Liberia as well. Interestingly, the Minister of Gender Affairs is the Ways and Means person here, and I think all of these county auxiliaries in the U.S. here, there's a need that we help our various county sports association. That's another way to get closer to the people. That's another way that when you talk, they can listen to you. We understand. I understand these people, the money there and all of that. But these people, they say that they something. I hope you get ready here Wednesday. Don't call out and tell me say you're not coming here. They say Jida Sport Fan Base dollar. Grand Jida is the county meeting is being divided into zones, right? The southeastern side, Grand Jida, Maryland, River G, Sano. Which other county there?
Mr. So, Mr. So, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed on many front when it comes to the counter meat issue. The
Let's find
first thing is this.
let's find a solution to this problem first.
No,
Why
no,
you
Mr.
know
So,
me? You all were not impressed.
yes, I'm not impressed. The first thing here is this. Let's look at it from a logistic point of view here. These young people that are going to be playing for these different counties, and especially if they're going to be having a zone type of match this year, that means a zone you're going to be traveling from one point to another. Where are the roads are going to lead these children to go from one point to another? Are the football players going to be riding motorbike all over? Where are the roads? Number
Yeah,
one.
but yeah, okay.
So I'm not impressed. Yes, another thing that I'm not impressed on. Okay, and this has nothing to do with politics. It has something to do with personality. And I think eventually we're going to get into the politics aspect of it later. But let me just say this: for someone who we all loved, and that is Dr. Weir, not because of his leadership abilities, but because of what he has done for our country in terms of sport. And many of us love him for that. And here he is, ahead of the Liberian government. And the sport issue in Liberia has become a laughing stock. Once
Oh,
again, I will use the word disconnect. Yes, the man, when he was not president, when he was just still playing, he used his own money to finance the national team of the Republic of Liberia. When he didn't even have when he didn't have no connection with the government. But he used his own money to finance because he wanted the national team to be somewhere, to go somewhere. Now that he's in charge, not just the national team, but he's in charge of the entire republic. And the sport activities in Liberia, it's a laughing stock. Honor him. This is a young man, and I call him young man because I'm older than him, but he's my president. This is the president that when he's ready, he go in the street of Monrovia to play football. That's how much he loved the game. But yet still, when he goes out to manifest to the Liberian for his own love for the game, but unable for this sport to move forward. Why is that? That's a disconnect. And now this counter meat that we're talking about, it's just a show, Mr. So. And these young people, don't get me wrong. These young people that participate in these things, they are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful players. Good players. Good soccer players. But they do not have the support structure that is needed from this government. It is unacceptable and it's very shameful.
Safini?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very good argument. But you're the other side of the coin. Counter meat, I think it's a unique process itself, unique exercise, and I do understand where you are coming from. Um, but I also, as a free thinker, I sincerely believe when it comes to this counter meat, regardless of, because these are all national issues. Uh, I'm not happy with the role. If I leave for and go Morovia, I want to reach down to my village. I want to go fishing. But that road right now, if you see the road, it's like, and I've said it, and we have all talked about it here. You are one of the persons on this road business. You are talk and talk to help. I try to help, call people, and they just don't want to do it. But I think, you know, we just have to make our own intervention. Then that could be a sort of turning point as well for our people to listen to us, because it is not their fault. It is the responsibility of national government to undertake these national issues, such as the road. That's every society, and we know how much it is. But in the midst of that, I will still tell you, Raku, this is to say GDS Sport fan base, Dollar Raleigh. Engineer, more than 30 years. Right? Okay. Let me call my man Kamuya. I'm gonna be having Minister Walimino Piso Seduta and other two young people who are in the vanguard. Let's open the line here quick. Here, our man Kamu is calling here. Hey, Kamu.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Tom?
Yeah. Then I talking here with my man, no can't our friend. Then this is so anything that I connected to T, I don't want to be part of it that much. Besides, just coming on LPR, man, he's some kind of man. Go ahead.
I just want to hold and deliver progression and I don't end it. Hey, Mr. So, how you doing? You looking good in your suit, man.
Oh, they make me fin again. They papi. Hey, papi, coming fin again. Oh, leopard. You were still on inside. Go ahead, my man.
And you know, Mr. So, I like how the public pronounce that his name. He said Broku.
Broku.
You remember my days in Cote d'Ivoire, you know, the way they approach people and very straight when they're introducing themselves, Broku.
Yeah.
I like that.
Somebody almost swallow here, lad. You were saying here, the man, the one guy came here, lad, and almost gave me high attack. He said, "Why is he doing a ramp white car?" I said, "Oh, you see that here? What's up, my man?"
Speaking of the road issue,
yeah,
you know, I'll monitor the show. Even though you are not open now, but I want to say thank you for the privilege. You know, so but this is what I just came to my mind. I was listening to Eugene Facon podcast, and he made a strong statement yesterday. He said the 15 counties they allocated $10 million for county development or development purpose.
Social, development.
I think social development, something like that. $10 million. And then he said, comparing it to the president's office, the vice president's office, the speaker, and I think the pro tem office, they have $10 million. He said 4 offices in the country get $10 million. The whole 15 county.
Monkey stationary almost 800 some more thousand. This is insane. It's ridiculous. I don't understand. But you know, these things sometimes you talk about it, you don't take time, you will end up living a beautiful life here before you even get to realize that. Go ahead.
And you know, so when you talk about the road issue, a friend of mine worked in that particular area there. She sent me a couple of pictures, you know, when she was doing her field work and other stuff. Look, I felt so bad, especially, you know, seeing them going to various villages just to talk to our people and see what's going on. There's no access to roads, business, store, cars in the mud. And then we're giving $10 million to 4 offices. So I don't think our people really think about developing like, bro, honestly, whether the CDC government or past government, they don't have that mindset. So I think if I was the person in charge of election, like, bro, I'd just say, oh, man, Broku Bob to just be the president because his passion, every time he sits on the
who? You say who might be the what then?
Oh no, I don't want to go there. I already been announcing it quickly. Yeah. Because the old man speak on the issue because he's knowledgeable, and I don't want to put out there to say that he's looking for a job. He don't need to go like brother work there.
No, but I don't understand. I don't understand when people say people looking for a job. Who doesn't want to work for their country? What is important here? The honesty that you are taking. What are you going to do? The same thing? Are you going to make an impact? Or you're going to subscribe, or will you be initiated? Who doesn't want to work? What are we learning for? You learn to just come and serve other people, and you can't give back to your country. So people who always say, "Oh, I'm looking for a job," I don't agree with them. Then I don't see them as honest citizen. That's my view. That's my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah. So just to conclude, when I say that, it's not like that he said he's not going there or looking for a job or what have you. People say these things because they fear the person. There's no way they can compete. So they look for ways to just make the person appear by in the public eye. Like, oh, he's coming from America, coming look for a job, and they forget to know that this man is a Liberian citizen. So
yeah,
Broku, the day you're ready for that. In fact, I don't want you to be listening to people that you know you get called about them or quote unquote belong. Look, put your knee at the first place. Let's talk about the open business. Put your knee at the first place.
Oh, you come and spoil the conversation.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. You know, the liberal.
Yes.
You know, this is why I always say here it's important the kind of conversation. Even talking about the roles, these are very strong, critical issue, and this is why I personally feel even the very opposition, You've been listening to Eugene Fagon of recent. I always follow him. He got a nickname, George Bush. We all were in Camp Waterloo refugee camp before. That was a name I called one time. He burst into flame, and we all laughed over it. But he's speaking the real, the inner world of even the establishment. Something that people, it's difficult. Sometimes people don't know. People who have not worked in government, when you can be part of a system to the extent, especially certain position, and that's where the vice president, that's a position he found himself in as well. But at the same time, we need to know a lot now. Now he's off. He needs to tell us here. But back to the point here, we talk about the roles, the counter me. Yes, people will say, oh, yeah, money is being given. But that's another way that we can appeal to these people. Because if we reject them, if we denounce them because of what our government is doing, whether you like it or not, it is the government of the day. And you can make an impact, you can make a social intervention, then it makes it very difficult that when it comes for them to make a decision about the future of the country, to listen to you. So it's a give and take. And I know it's a sort of bitter pill for us to swallow. This is why some of us, when we will sit down, people who speak for the opposition on the podcast or network or whatever, if they are not looking at the substance, these issues that are critical to Liberian, and they jump into insult, then and they said a one state power, they are like, wait a minute, how can you do this? You have to be persuasive. You have to make your case. You have to define your candidate. Do not allow people to define your candidate. But Eugene is speaking in a very esoteric tone, in a specific tone. Only the sound-minded one will understand. I still see him to be a genuine sedition. In as much I don't even agree with him with most of the things, sometimes the way he handles himself, he allows his loyalty to surprise his the professional job that he was supposed to do. And he saw himself to be like, okay, I'm so diehard, I'm so committed, so he was doing everything possible he can. But again, if you listen to him carefully, the story, the narrative between he and his immediate boss, there was a barricade where I'm not sure whether he ever met the president face to face. I think he have said that. I don't think it has happened. So government people who don't know, who have never worked in government, even it doesn't matter the position, but whatever government cycle is much deeper than you think it is when you are outside. So we want to encourage people. My understanding, Wilhelmina Piso Sedita is on the Ways and Mean Committee. This is a young man. Oh no, this guy here. Let's say I put his picture. He's the Assistant Minister of Youth and Sport. I will be hosting on Thursday at 1 p.m. We receive the fixture, the activities. We have to talk to them. Whether we agree or disagree with them, we have to talk to them, and that's why you know the rules on this network here. We are open to people. And where is the other young guy here? Sheraton. Oh, why I didn't put his picture here. Yeah, but carry on. Let me see what I can get Sheraton here. So I would say I would encourage every Liberians in good faith to support your county because the children, they themselves, they love the sport. But it is unfortunate, and I agree with you, that by this time we should say Liberia should be maybe more in a front line when it comes to soccer based on the history of our current president. But again, but that's what we have for now. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. So I also been watching a lot of Mr. Falcon podcast, been listening. One of the interesting thing that I take away from the 2 days that I have followed him on many of the topic is that I think he's very much glad that he's out of the government. I think his position now allows him to be as truthful and as frank with the president and everyone else as much as possible without fear of losing his job. So I think if you look at and listen to Falcon recently, I think he's very, very happy to be outside.
Those are things that have been within the system. I think he's trying to let it go now.
Right, right. I think he's very happy to be outside of the power of the power structure in Liberia. Now, when it comes to CDC, and from my own interpretation and from my perspective, I think he's a sedition. I don't know to what degree, but I think he's a sedition. And one of the interesting things that I take away from all of his speeches, especially advice to the president, or advices, whatever it is that he's giving the president, I think if they listen to him, because basically what he's asking the president to do is to pivot, to get out of the current position and come back to where he used to be.
To remember his roots.
Right. And if they listen to him, they will do well. The interesting thing that I'm talking about is how do they transition from Falcon saying pretty much like a mandate and come clean with that, without whatever idea he's coming up, without signing like Falcon is demanding, and therefore they have agreed to Falcon demand. That's going to be a tricky part. However, another thing that people need to listen to Falcon and pay keen attention to are these little details he put out there. One of the things that's been, the rumors that have been going around was that the president personally, as Opon Wia, is a very vindictive person who is high, according to rumors that we've been hearing over the years, who is very difficult to forgive. And so Falcon now is now trying to substantiate whatever rumors that is out there by saying, Mr. President, you and Moluba Molu don't even get along because of what Moluba Molu have done.
He's still not being forgiven. If you deeply, he's still not. It's because of political ties or some other reason he's still hanging in there. But I don't think he's been totally forgiven.
No, and that's exactly what Falcon was saying. So Falcon, the podcast he has today, his thing was, you have to step on your pride if you want sedition. And there's, according to Falcon, there's so many sedition, battle fighters, sedition, people who were in the trenches, who are now feeling like they've been pushed aside. He even called what's his name, Saki, the guy, the young man
in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes, he even called his name, because these are people that used to be the outspoken people for CDC in this place. Okay, those of us that peruse the social media, we know, but these are people that were pushed aside because of for me, that's my language now. That's not Falcon language. Because of greed, they decide to push these young people aside. And in fact, and so Falcon is saying that these people, you must be able to connect back with them. And one of the suggestions he made, and I thought was very interesting, is to say, Dr. We need to go to some of these people personally, knock to their door, surprise them, and say, I'm here to, I can't info who are you tonight, and surprise them to bring them back on board. He's saying that there are three words he used: your CDC, their CDC, our CDC. If it is your CDC, we will lose the election. If it is their CDC, we're not going to win the election. If it's our CDC, we will win the election. Now, the interesting thing on that, on those three choices of selection, whatever he had, is that perhaps the president believed the fact that he was the one that started the whole thing, that this is his party and nobody should put foot. Or the three amigos believe this is their party and they will do anything they want to do, nobody should put foot. Or those seditions that are going around pretending to be CDC members. Whenever they throw party, they're all there, but time to vote, they cast their vote differently. And this, he said, is hurting CDC. And so to wrap that out, and I know we'll talk more about that, Mr. Soto, say to you is that if CDC in this hierarchy wants to win, they're going to have to change course. You cannot depend on Samuel To, who is highly educated, very intelligent, very smart. You can't depend on him to bring in voters. You can't depend on McGill, who also is intelligent, to bring in voters. Because
But
McGill
yeah, but this is where he's been a little bit disingenuous. He tries to walk a kind of fine line because of his own rapport with Nathaniel McGee. Not today, I think day before yesterday, podcast. He tries to give McGee a sort of easy pass. And I think if he mean business, the person he needs to come down hard on is Nathaniel McGee and these people then. But he wants to do it as sort of double standards and salad dressing type of way of politics.
well,
Nathaniel McGee,
we all know who.
Nathaniel McGee pretty well runs the day-to-day affairs of the country. If you listen to this aggrieved sedition type from NEMA that was demonstrating or protesting or whatever it is. But if you know, if when McGee agrees on something, pretty well it happened instantly. So I think his tone should be directed at him to say, hey, if you love this president, the president confide in you, the president so much believe, trust you as a close confidant, then this is what you need to be doing. But I know it has not been an easy thing with him since he went in the government. The reason he was incorporated, to remember, he was a regular, he was making regular appearances on this LPR before going to. He was initially with ALP and then later on crossed to CDC. But he also injected this high call of propaganda with this sort of name calling and defined other people, and that resonated with the seditions and it paid off during the end of 2017 presidential election.
And that's exactly
Let's break it in. But so when they carry him in too, other people feel, oh, wait a minute, this guy here, he's now one of us. He did not start with us in the trenches. This is how deadly the politics is. And that's why some of these people, they should learn, people in the diaspora, collecting money, paying money, doing this, that. They should learn a lesson from what has happened from CDC. Let's make this conversation more interactive. I got a caller here. Let me go right to this caller here. Let's see. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How you doing, Mr. Soul? It's me, Elvis. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Hey, Elvis, what's up, my man?
Okay, I want to say hi to Mr. Toe too because sometimes I call, I don't include.
My man, forget that, puppy, man. And people of the same boy, the same fellow, like man. Oh, hey, man. Oh my, one retire, he won't go.
But I wanted to make some quick points, real quick.
Yeah.
I had to call because you really made me laugh, Jenna. There's a joke. It's a real thing that happened, but it's a joke. Nathaniel McGill, when Joe we are calling nigga, call him McGee. So when you call him McGee, I started laughing. I said, see what Joe we are calling him. He said, they said, my man, the person they call him is McGee. He said, my man, I don't care when you call me McGee or McGill. I'll just.
Well, you don't call him praying too. So they call him McGee. Hey, well, they all going, man, moving, man, dropping.
But I just wanted to make some quick points real quick. One of the things that in politics, especially when you take government, it's a well-balanced soup. You have to cook. You have to have ideologues. You have to have technocrats. You have to have bureaucrats. And I think for the most part, CDC, they have a lot of ideologues, and it lacks a lot of technocrats and bureaucrats. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, And another point I want to touch on, you guys haven't got there today, but just today, Mr. Bongo announced that he's running for president.
Yeah, he accepted a petition the other day in Nima.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a saying, good men usually don't make good kings. When you can't rule with kindness. When it comes to leadership, sometimes you have to take a tough decision that seems harsh, but in the end, it turned out to be the right decision. So usually when people look at people like Gonglo, who are civil rights activists, and people who think is a good person in the heart, usually they don't make good leaders. Similar thing you can say about communists. People who are kind-hearted. So I just want to make that point. And then earlier in the show, you talk about the Ethiopian thing. Ethiopian thing, like most other countries in Africa is a tribal thing.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Tigurian who are a military, you know, tribe.
Right. Yeah,
and
warlike, real warlike people. Yeah.
Yeah. And they ostracize the most popular group in the country, the Oromo, which is, you know, the more darker skinned people from the southern part of Ethiopia, and it's been a long ongoing thing. Now that the Oromo people got a president, they want to revenge, they want to take over power because they got a number. So it really is it's a similar thing like most other African countries. But thank you very much, and Mr. To, I just want to tell you that I really look up to you. I have a lot of respect for you. You're one of our great people, and keep doing the good job you're doing. We're really proud of you. And sometimes, look, even the content let me get touch on that quick.
Yeah.
You see, Grand G there will always be back of the pack. And the reason is that you look at it just holistically. Most African countries that you see doing good in football are countries that got a lot of resources. And then we come down to our microscopic counted meat. Most countries that you see doing well are countries that got a lot of resources. Countries like Nima, Monserrato, and currently you see, you know, Grand Crew doing well. But Grand G, the fact that our people have been marginalized since after the war, we have little resources.
Yeah, but
so
I think, I think you know, what you reap is what. Look, they have not done that. You know, that's a long history. I don't want to go out there, but I'm not one of those in this whole thing yet. This is what that's what you know. You know what diversity is in society is all about. Our people, they are like this cow and this white bird. They want to behave like a donkey, and I refuse to be like a donkey. And anybody who is like a donkey, people will always ride on you, and you will never ride their back. And that's what they choose to be. Look, you have to stand up for yourself. You got to make some concrete and high call decision, not necessarily to please me or to please the liberal progressive. You got to stand up for yourself. If you can't fight for yourself, that's it. And I remember our people sometimes they used to act crazy. Those days, if you're not either sometimes, if you're not even part of NDP, or then they count you out as you are anti. That's the same, no? So everybody wants to be like maybe right now, if you they want to take themselves to be all sedition, okay, they have the right to do that. But when you do that, politics is give and take. So if you voted for this president, one president overwhelmingly 99.9%. What do you think if that person doesn't win 18, the next person, what do you think they're going to get back? What was the political dividend they got from you? I mean, I'm just saying it because that's how we behave in Africa. It's not like here in the Western world. So there is something, there's a block already built in the mind of that person here. These people, I don't care what I do, they're not going to support me. They are not part of me. But thank you, my man. Let me go to the next caller quick. Okay. All right. Okay. Minnesota, what's the next caller here? Is that the Everest came from? Okay. 3168. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Terry?
Yeah, Terry.
Hey, Terry, what's up, my man?
Not bad, Mr. So how you doing, sir?
Good. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. I just wanted to contribute to what Mr. Tu was saying concerning Mr. Fagon.
Mm.
You know, and to agree with you that one of the problems Mr. Fagon have is that he know one of the major problems that CDC have in Georgia government, which is Nathaniel Made.
Yeah.
All right. That is one of the major problems the CDC have.
You love the devil, then you want to dress other people.
Yeah, they do not. You know, Eugene is a good talker. He could be a good propagandist for the government, but the sad thing is that our president is not a politician. He don't understand the dialectics in politics. He don't know how to run propaganda. In fact, he's not even a sociable. He don't mingle with the people. When there is a problem in the country, he rather go sing sing reggae music than to interact with the citizens. All right. Even if you can't speak English, speak the colloquial. The people know you to be speaking colloquial. Talk to the people. He don't have empathy. That's one of the major reasons why President William elected. I'm 90% sure that he may lose the election. All right, because he don't have empathy.
But it's also, Terry, not to cut you off. Yes. It's it's still so. It's also contingent how the opposition is going to conduct themselves. If they, something you can whack your hair, you can put your glasses down. Yeah, that's why you don't like people to tell you the truth. The Liberian people looked up to the opposition as an alternative. But yeah, you're sweeping things under the rug. You're there, all kinds of things to Cummings. You Brown is, oh, we're feeling way. Is it you are talking? Oh, you don't want to talk. So you're scaring people too. We don't even know where to go. So the people, when people are afraid, they were innocent here, there. But again, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. So you are 100% correct. Because the opposition, if they never wanted to collaborate, they shouldn't have done it. Then by now, the people will have believed and trust one person. If they say, okay, we'll carry Walker, we'll carry Walker, we'll carry come here, come here. But the moment they came together, that collaboration that what made Evie or Darrell didn't to carry that vote, because the Liberian people said, we have never seen this kind of thing in Liberian history before.
But some of us knew it wasn't going to work because there's a history to that. We said over and over, and Liberal was in denial.
Yeah, because we know in our history this doesn't work. It can't hold. So if they prove us right, it will be very detrimental for them. So you are right. We are more likely right on the ignorance and become and go back for the next 6 years.
And two,
so we cannot rule that out.
And two, remember Israel Akinsaya, Samson Liberty Partisan. What happens when they saw the wind, when the vessel was walking, when the turbulence, when the avalanche were going? What happened? He saw them in drove going to Earth. So I don't trust our politicians. They are all, it's all about themselves. So when they're ready, talking like, some of them talking like, I don't want to say something ridiculous here because they labor with price here. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Liberal.
Yes.
You see, I think there's a mistake. It was a very easy drive for the opposition, but you guys, the opposition, did not do their own good political calculation. There were 4 parties, 4 groups accredited to the process. Out of the 4, it was much easier. 2 came out to say, we are having interest. Probably they would have adopted the CDC method in selecting their candidate. It was easy. You should have called Alexander Cummings behind the closet, no media, and get into that political bargain. Look, Cummings, we understand you in it, but at this time, it's about the country. And your man, Joseph Boyka, you should have told him to have committed himself. I will go for 1 term, but we need to do everything possible we can't to defeat this. It will have narrowed down the whole scope. And maybe because it was a collaboration, then they can do it into this sort of, remember the transitional government and all of these warring factions, they begin to, then they do it inside, but everybody there, their mouth can run. Everybody there, they can talk more than they said. Do it in a proportional faction. Okay, since you want, that's what CDC did. CDC made up, they know they had something, they made a clear cut that we are producing a standard bearer, and the next popular party, perhaps, we will give you the vice presidency. And when NPP and Prince Johnson joined, then they gave NPP the presidency and some ministries and agency of government. Why you think Prince Johnson rejected some appointees from NIMA? Because 60% of appointees within the country, they must be Prince Johnson nominee, besides the ministerial deputy or assistant minister position. That would have been a perfect arrangement, political arrangement on the part of the collaboration. You jump inside, you didn't ask no question, no advice, no consent, nothing. You want to do a talking, VPA, talking, primary, talking, delegate. We're going to do what? Consensus. How can we even trust you? You don't even know which way to go. Go ahead.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. Just to call a shot for you. And you know me, I don't beat around the bush. He ain't paying my mom, I ain't paying your Bible block. Cool. Nothing can happen to me.
Can I take a break?
Excuse me?
Can I take a break?
No, you can't. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly, the liberal is not getting ready to express his view. Now you want to take a break. First thing is this. Mr. So, you are not member of CPP. We don't need your commentary. We don't need your sympathy. Keep your conservative idea to yourself. The CPP is doing well. We don't need anything else. All we know and all we want from you is for you to support us succeed so that we will save your country with Dr. Baka ahead. Now, Mr. So, something interesting happened today. Something interesting happened today. And these are things when you look at, those of all who consider ourselves political junkies, when you look at these things, then you feel sad for the individual. The presidencies of the Republic of Liberia, it has certain statement that comes with it. If you run and not successful, many people come out of it damaged completely. Other people come out and say, I'm going to try again. But many people come out and they find themselves way at the back of the line. Today, I watched on Spoon TV a good man, a man of decent character, a man that have stood the time of whatever you want to call it. And he's always coming on top. Chewran Gonglo, the president of the Liberian Bar Association, announced today that he's going to seek the presidency of the Republic of Liberia. And one of the reasons he gave was that at one time the bar was hosting the West African Bar Association.
To get our invitation out to him, he need to come here. I don't want you
yes.
the hell out
yes. And if he comes here, I'm going to do my best. When he comes here, if he accepts to come here, I'm going to do my best to dissuade him to give it up. Now,
why
is this?
Give it up for who?
Mr. Soul, please, will you please allow me to express myself freely? I mean,
yeah, I know you're going to talk, but you are one of the problems here, making people.
Mr. Soul, that's what makes me a liberal. Whether you consider me a problem or not, other people think my ideas are just brilliant. So please, spare me with me. You calling me? You think by you calling me problem that what you're cool? You can't do nothing to me. Wait, you're calling me problem? Is that what's gonna knock me off the air? Unless you're getting ready now to sanction me again as usual. But let me make this point, please. The Honorable Gonglo, the president of the Liberian Bar Association, this guy doesn't take backseat to anyone when it comes to law. In fact, many Liberians would say that he's at the top when it comes to law business in Liberia. You would think, as intelligent as an educated person, would not venture in these kinds of situations. One of the reasons he gave was that at one time when he was hosting the West African Bar or African Bar Association in Liberia, Dr. Weah invited them at his compound, the newly built compound. And when he said before that, he said, Custer and everybody have talked about it, but they didn't believe it until he went and saw the place. And he said, we lawyers, we like to have evidence. And so when I saw that, to say this is what this man built in 1 year after taking power, that's something that really intrigued me. If that is the reason you have to get into the presidential affair or presidential issue, then it's a wrong reason. I thought that people like Gonglo would do their best to elect the opposition, and then he comes in to be somebody like the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, and be able to revamp the entire judiciary system in Liberia. Because he has the ability, he understands the law, and he knows exactly what is happening. So many times he has accused the hierarchy of the law people in Liberia as being corrupt. So if he were to take the harm of this position, of this law interpreting business in Liberia, he would have been one of those that will build that institution. More the institution to his specification. Because every time he opened his mouth about what is happening in Liberia when it comes to law interpreting, the people going to the Constitution, what have you. He's always on point. And so those are people that some of us are looking up to say this man will come in as Chief Justice and be able to build this institution. This institution that is being accused by the American as being judiciary, as being corrupt. This man would have been supported by the American strongly. But now he wants to be president. He wants to be president. And we all know very well. And I hate to say this, we all know very well he's not going to win. He's not going to win. So what happened now? We're just talking about Dr. Weah and his vindictiveness. And he's not the only person, he's not the only politician in Liberia is like that. So by him coming, and we know the politics business in Liberia. Now he's going to come and run campaign. And when you're running campaign in Liberia, you're not going to be friendly with those you're running campaign against. People are going to do opposition research. And people are going to throw all kinds of stuff in your name because they want you to win. What are true or not? But I thought this man could have been one of those that would have been able to save the judiciary system in Liberia. But now he wants to be president. I thought it was a very sad day when I heard that. Not that he doesn't have the ability. Far from it. He can be president. But first thing I know, he's not going to win. And so with his mindset, I thought he would come in and help the judiciary system to rebuild it. We're coming from war. People in judiciary, the speculation and rumors and everything else that has been written about, people taking bribe to throw cases from one person to another. These are things that has been written about. They're in their public records. I don't know how true they are, but they are public records. And so you have people with his integrity, well respected in West Africa when it comes to law. And you get the position of being the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. People, the law system in Liberia. You will not have people going to West African court or whatever they call them. The system in Liberia will handle the law in Liberia, honor his leadership. But that all getting ready now to be thrown away. And that's very sad. That's very sad.
That's the liberal. Okay. I will hold back because you have a fish to fry in this thing. You first started off that you're going to tell him to give way to your candidates. So
no. On this one, let me make myself clear, please. Maybe I didn't. On this one, when it comes to Honorable Gongler, I'm not asking him to get out because I want Dr. Baka going in. No.
Okay. So
Mr. So, every one of us as Liberians or even as human beings, whether you're crazy or not, but you were put on this earth for a specific reason, I believe. And I think Honorable Gongler, he alone, and now people will condemn me for that, but I will make that anyway. He alone can straighten the judiciary system in Liberia. He alone can straighten that whole thing up. You know, he's been having a beef with the Chief Justice on many occasions. So because he believes people are doing things that are not in the interest of Liberia when it comes to law. So he have the ability to straighten and build that institution.
Okay.
And put in place structure that will help us in terms of law. Because here's the interesting thing, the last thing I want to say on this episode. The reason why I'm pushing him to take that is because the main issue that might derail all of the peace process we've been putting together here and there is the land issue in Liberia. And many people are looking up to the judiciary system to help resolve the land issue in Liberia. And if the judiciary system is corrupt, people will not respect the ruling coming from them. And where they're going to take us. God help us.
That's the liberal progressive analysis here, and that's what we do here. We give people at liberty, whether they are contributors or even onliners, to express their view and our opinions on national issue, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. But I'm going to pivot in a different direction because I'm not of you, you are of yourself. You are all grown up, you can make your own comments and say this, but I'm going to take it in a different context. And the reason I'm holding back because that's what I want to have a conversation with him. I do not want to be judgmental. I don't want to say anything in his absence. Already in conversation with his team in Liberia and that of the friends of Twawa Gonglo, to one Dr. Kamara here is based yet. We had a very great conversation, so I'm holding to see. But this also speaks to the core value of some of the things that we can be saying. If all of these things are to come to reality, people who are seeking these offices, they are direct representatives, they are top surrogates, people that are in their political close enclave. We need to start knowing about them now. They need to start talking on some of these issues, but unfortunately, it is not happening. And that is giving the GOL an edge because if you're an ANC person, if you're a boycott person, if I don't know up to this time who is the official spokesperson for Honorable Boycott and for Alexander Cummings, foreign policy person, to the domestic policy person, or campaigns secretary and all of that. If I can't see the faces of these people, guess what? Then I wondered the commitment of these people. Then what do they have? What are they hiding? Is it they are still unbalanced? They are still undecided people, or they are waiting to see where this whole political tornado going to turn so that it will go there? Because there is instability within the political settings of our people in our country. And simply because these people, they have less confidence and they just do not know their purpose and they yet to discover their own potential. So for this reason, they stay behind the scene. But this time we need to have 2, 3, 4 people that are speaking for these potential presidential hopeful. There are 3 for not more than 3. There are more than 3. Gonglo coming, Kasser coming. We saw Louis Brown then from the NPP. We're seeing this recycling method, shipping, going in and coming out. So what that does, it has just confused the entire Liberian electorate. The international community they are looking at us. It's just crazy. I want to see more of a national conversation. Let me go to this number here, 612 number 0558. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Derek from Minnesota.
Okay, welcome, buddy. Good evening. Let's hear from you.
Yes, Mr. So thank you for having me. I know you don't remember me, but I'm from Minnesota. The man I hosted by some district long time ago.
Oh, look at him, man.
Yeah.
What's up, my son?
Yeah, that might be right. But anyway, so I mean, just the whole CPP issue. I have a problem with how you people always address the issue when it comes to the CPP. Because the CPP has a framework. We are all fighting for a new Liberia, a different Liberia, a Liberia that will be based on the rule of law. And this one went ahead and did a framework document. So that document created a process. So what is so hard about following this process? That's all that is required, just to follow the process.
Are they following the process?
So I mean, you can point to individuals as maybe the problem makers, right? You can point to individuals. I mean, nobody want to take responsibility, but you can point to individuals as the problem maker, right? I mean, like you rightly said about the whole accusation against Cummings or character and all that. We know that was a problem. But anyway, the goal still remains the same. The goal is a primary. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. A primary. Now, if people start suggesting maybe, let's call Cummings in the back door there.
No. That one here. Let me get it right here. My argument said my analysis to that was something probably should have been done long ahead of time because I knew this whole thing here. I forecast this thing. I knew it was going to be a problem. So what I was suggesting was that since there were 4 that were collaborating, right, and 2 said they were not running, and two running, so it was easier to come to a political compromise because I knew there were being some sort of boom of contention like we are having right now. You suggesting primary. If you talk to some of their people, they don't want primary. We have a group guy here yesterday, they are talking about consensus. Now, one of their own is being defined in such a way that it also it has created a political dent on him, even if he's to become number 2 on that ticket, you know, and that is still unsettled. That's a big deal.
Okay, so apparently, every time people talk about consensus, they always requesting comes to go as number 2 to Braga, right? Now it's now people saying, when people can say Braga, please retire. Not only go as a senator. Why is it not so, right? Because the reason I'm saying that is Mr. Braga is a damaged planet as a candidate. He doesn't have age in his favor, and he also carry the baggage of the UP, you know, government for the past 12 years.
I tell you,
that's a damaged goose. That's a damaged goose.
I tell you, you don't want to be on a good footing with a liberal here this evening.
Okay, so I mean, if we're talking about from people saying like we have to make a decision about the future for the next 6 years, right? Getting the track record of the European government with nothing, 9 times, just we have 6 years. That's 18 years. So like this, rather going back to the poll to go and decide on your future, give you rather think about put the future back in the hands of Joseph Newman Braga.
So let's hear. So let's hear from you. You, as a Liberian, you have the right to make your own political choice. Where are you leaning?
Yeah.
Where do you stand in this whole political discourse in Liberia?
Coming is the way.
Coming is the way.
Okay. Coming is the way forward.
Okay.
Because the reason is very simple, right? The reason is very simple. Let me give you one reason, right? Liberia started lacking ideas. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, well, listen, go ahead.
Yes. Liberia, we are not lacking any ideas because if they ask you right now, Chris gave us economic plan for Liberia. I bet you're not an economist, but you can come with some kind of a plan, right? It's simple. It's not rocket science or science, economics or something. It's not rocket science, right? But one of the Mr. Kumi has is credibility. Liberia is lacking credibility, credible leadership. And that's
interestingly, I listened to Frederick. I watched that conference yesterday. I'm a news freak. Let me just tell you now. Interestingly, I listened to a portion of Councillor Gongro today. He took a little bite at Kome that he does not have a public record. So that plays into a segment of workers supporter as well. So this is a very dicey situation we are going to get into.
So now let's assign everybody baggages to them. Right? So coming baggage will be public sector baggage. Is that a difficult baggage to carry? No. When Mr. Baga carry correction baggage behind him.
Okay.
He's carrying age baggage behind him.
Okay.
That's not baggage that easily carry.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me get a liberal chance because
let me so now like I said, the one thing that Mr. Cummins has on the side is credibility. Okay? And that's the only thing Liberia is missing. Liberia is missing credible leadership. Who else that will get the leadership too? They will do as promised.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So basically liberal.
Yeah.
It comes back. I will give you an opportunity to not necessarily to respond, but what you make of it. But honestly, I strongly feel there was no lengthy conversation before these 4 political parties came together to form this sort of political union. I don't think the conversation was lengthy. I don't think the conversation was tense. I don't think everybody, they were honest. They didn't bring all of their baggages. Some people brought some and left some behind the door and left it in the car trunk and just quickly went at a negotiation table. When you are forming collaborations, everybody needs to come clean. And have you sort of, and put all out. You can't leave some behind and bring few out and project yourself to be the one that is presenting everything, and only to find out that you left some behind it all. But you listen to this guy here, you just listen to this caller here. Is there anything that caught your attention?
Well, one of the things I'm going to say, and I will say boldly, I'm glad many of you have no voting right in Liberia. You can't vote in Liberia, so you can say all you want to say. That's okay with me. It don't matter. those who are voting in Liberia, they weren't going to take Dr. Barker to the next level. So you stay here and things that come and get character. We know Coming has character. We know he has the ability to lead. We're not questioning
Why
that.
you always like to
Mr. So, will you please let the liberal finish? We're not questioning Coming ability to lead. Nobody questioning anything of about Coming or what have you. All we're saying is that Dr. Barker, and many of you who sit here and said, "Oh, the man Dr. Barker ain't got character. You ain't got no voting right. You can't leave that. You can't leave. Go spend 2,000 some other. Go play airplane ticket or go vote in Liberia. Come back. You think that damn of mine in Bapa we in here." Where people used to leave from Bapa, go to Total, go swallow Domo and come back to Bapa. That you ain't got no voting right. You sit down here and talk about all we saying the let Coming go second, that Tobacco third. Now, Mr. So, let me tell you this. This is what I'm going to say to you. This is what I'm going to say to you, Mr. So. And you know me. Look, this is a serious business.
A plurality method of voting system or
Mr. So.
You're breaking your
Mr. So, I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter how and you and your people feel about it. The best thing we can do, we all want to see the CPP succeed. And the best way the CPP succeed, according to me, is Dr. Barker on top. Now, having said that, Mr. So, let me say this to you.
Dweller, I think you need to call in here. Yeah, go ahead. Dweller is writing something interesting here. Mr. Cummings shot at the presidency is not clear because of no public records. That's a repetition of
Mr. So. That's not my
also
view.
The relationship with Liberians, especially during their dark days. So,
Mr. So, Mr. So, I do not subscribe to that view, not at all. But let me say this to you. Those who are making these kinds of comments, they're not serious about anything at all either. Because Kumi is a Liberian. Whether he has record or not, he's a Liberian. The Constitution allows him to run, and the Constitution allows him to be successful as well. Now, the point that I want to make to you, Mr. So, is this. The issue about presidency and what have you in Liberia, who's going to do whatever they're going to do, it's not that important as it is who's going to relieve us, the Liberian. Dr. Barker will. Dr. Barker will. He has the ability to do that. Now, once again, the issue with our own brother, Gonglo, let me say this again. He also has the ability to lead. And he has demonstrated that. He has, and that's why you're making reference to, that he has record. But the thing about this is this. This is for me, and like I said, I'm Broku. Nothing can happen to me. This is what I suspect. Bongo probably knows he's not going to win, but let him make the noise, and maybe he can go vice president. Wrong. We can't do that.
Who's going to accommodate that? Who's going to make that accommodation?
But if you think if Gonglo gets into this and start making more headway, but knowing fully well he's not going to go.
If he doesn't join the CPP, do they have that political will to go outside of
the CPP? I don't think there's anything in the CPP document to say if you, for example.
I'm not saying that. I'm just asking for your opinion.
Yeah, I'm just giving you an example. I'm giving an example, and I'll be ridiculous in this example.
You always ridiculous.
That doesn't matter. That's what you think. But it doesn't matter. I'm like, who that you calling me ridiculous? That won't move me. I'm like, who? Nothing can move me. You know that. But the point here is this, Mr. So. Look, if everything else is done, okay, when they're done with the process, and then Dr. Barker comes out and say he comes on top and so okay, come and be my vice president, and Coming rejects that.
Then or what?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's what you think. That's what I am. That's what I am. Then, Mr. So, once that happens, Dr. Barker has a free will now to go outside of CPP. So it's a very simple stuff.
All right. You're looking at that. You're even getting your chopping one. Not that even go guys on the. So let me go to this number here. Missy, Missy, are you there?
Yeah, Mr. So, I mean, how you doing today, Mr. So?
Go ahead.
The Liberal Progressive, you are very, very much, today you are very much on the wrong track.
Hey.
Because I mean, the whole
my Lord, done it for me. My Lord, done it for me.
It's bad for me when you say that because Donald is a lawyer and a recognized and respected one. He should go to the Supreme Court as Chief Justice. But yet, still, you don't say the same thing for Baka. Baka is an agriculturalist. Why he can't go to the agriculture ministry and leave the presidency? It's funny. I mean, that's not easy.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
So they won't find you stepping in the fire when you let the shoes outside. Secondly,
boy.
without going to a primary and being declared a winner, you are telling communists do not contest. And by then, if he's not contesting, that means these guys are saying that TPP is only made so that Biden can be president. And the Democratic political pattern is to go to the primary with all your contestants. Pick the best that you can.
They are not even talking about the primary. They try to undercut the beauty of democracy. They are manufacturing. They are making things. We're going to do this other method here. And when we do this one, this person will win. That person will not win. Sanctions the rights of the people.
And when you do that, you frustrate people who think clearly. That means you are giving on less than your best. We don't want less than the best. We want the best. I'll start pushing that kind of politics. The best thing we can do right now, CPP needs to go to the primary, put all the candidates vote. At the end, whoever wins, then you negotiate with the next best person in the group. Look, you came second. Can you please be the vice president? Just in case, after the first 6 years, if our presidential candidate don't go back, or after the next 4 years, you can then you have an option to repeat.
It amazes me when people are talking. All right, Mama, thank you so much. You saying you run away, you want me behind the phone. Thank you. Look, so I don't know. So the liberal.
Yes.
Why were you guys keeping conversations about a sovereign nation, regardless of the country is ravaged in poverty and we can't get our own economic status? Why you think you can just talk about the country as if you're talking about 2, 3, 4 people?
Mr. So, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Unless you are exhausted now, then just tell me.
Please, I'm liberal. How would the liberal be exhausted in talk? That's what we do. I can stay here for 8 hours. I can stay here for 8 hours and filibuster the whole show if I want to. I can stand on my feet. I can stand on my feet for 8 hours and speak the whole time. So
you can have a town hall equivalent to having a town hall meeting for what, 2, 3 hours, right?
Mr. Please. You see, this is what you do. You think the liberal, you try to do all of these kabuki dancing, hoping that liberal will be confused and he will be able to forget the good strategy that he's coming up with. It ain't happening. Mr. So, let me address the young man that called earlier. Look, he said, why would I ask Gonglo to go to be Chief Justice? Why can't we ask Dr. Baka to go into agriculture because that's this? Look, let's be frank with you guys here this evening, and I will be truthful with you guys here this evening. In politics, even here in the diaspora, a vice president, after the president leaves office, it is assumed that the vice president is going to be next in line. You think we go through the vice presidency for 12 years for nothing? Then from there, he will go run your, you will not eat. A hungry will chaos, but you want to be president. You want him to go back to agriculture. The agriculture play he did all those years there, feeding the library. He's doing that one. He's done with that. Now he wants to be president, and so that he will help you to feed you more. Then you want to send him back to agriculture? What kind of business is it? What I said, let me tell you again. You ain't hear me Google. You ain't got no voting power. We all stay here. You ain't got no voting power. You know how much it will cost you to leave from here and go for one cash, one voting like, bro? You ever stay here? We telling you, we say we respect coming. All of your coming supporters. We say, fine. We like you. We love all of you. Come to us. Let's put together as brothers and sisters. Dr. Baka, number one, look, Mr. So. Even in terms of education.
Man, why are you calling me like that?
Hold on. I'm telling you, even in education, you got classes. You don't come from a village and they say, oh, we'll put you in 12th grade. It don't happen like that. You go to Prima 1, Prima 2, Prima 3, then 5th grade, 2nd grade. Before you get to 12th grade, you go through the stages. Dr. Baka has gone through all of the stages. And people are saying to all of you, the supporter of Kumi, including Mr. Kumi himself, we love you. Kumi has gone through the stages as well. But you cannot just get up and say, I want that one. I want to be in the 12th grade. First, Kumi finished with 9th grade now. He in 10th grade. What a double promotion coming from now? Because Mr.
You're not going to do roller skating.
No, I'm not doing roller skating. I'm telling you, Dr. Baka served vice president. So what do you want to do? Continue to serve vice president?
I'm going to use your own words on you. You want to sound ridiculous, and you're always ridiculous. And you have just made a ridiculous statement again. Is there any clause in the Constitution that you have to come from stage 1, stage 2 before you can become before you be a president of the Republic of Liberia?
No.
Why you're banking this thing? You're not telling us. You're not giving us specific as to why your candidate be a
Mr. So. Let's be serious for once. Let me try to ease your mind a little bit, because I know you're anxious now. And you're getting a little bit.
I'm getting over the edge because
I know that. This is what I do for you.
Yeah,
I'm Ragu. Let me make you happy a little bit. Look, on a very serious note, Mr. So, I think I've stated this here before. This whole process that brought this collaborating political party together, as far as I'm concerned, it was flawed from day one.
So then agree with me. Admit here to your audience that you agree with me.
Mr. So, I don't have to admit anything to nobody. I'm not on the what is this? I call it a witness. I'm not a witness on stand that I must admit something. I got nothing to admit.
You just alluded to it. That is a flaw.
No, but I'll be truthful. Look, Mr. So, I believe Kumi came into this process trusting the entire political leadership from the 3 political parties.
That was an illusion on his part.
Yes. However, when you do those kinds of stuff and you realize, okay, I wasn't quite prepared for this. This is not what I had in mind. But these people think that I'm some sort of a doobie. They're gonna doom me around. It's not happening. So you take the next step, because you're coming into this thing trusting these people that you will do whatever it takes to move Liberia forward.
Where is the recommended next step? Where is the recommended next step for Kumi?
The recommended next step is for Kumi and his people to swallow their pride and come to this thing and say, we are honor your leadership. The CPP, not a particular person. It's not a particular person. This is what they need to do.
Is it a political pro driven here? Is that what you saying?
I don't want to go that. I don't want to even touch that. I'm just saying, swallow your pride, whatever it is, and say to the Nigerian people.
Why you want to shove something in the throat?
So nobody's shoving nothing nowhere. Say to the Liberian people, I came into this process.
Where is the investigation report?
We bring it up. Look at him. Look at journalists. Yeah, there's something to you. You catch a good rope. You want to throw in the water. You don't say you can swim. What wrong you say? I'm begging you.
Where's the investigation?
Mr. So, can I finish my statement? Okay. If you don't mind.
You say answer. Go ahead.
Let me finish my statement. Ain't no way you think that because I drink water now, I ain't able to talk. Let me finish my statement. On a very serious note, Mr. So. Mr. So, on a very serious note, central right, conservative guy, please let a liberal finish his statement. There are people listening to me. They want to hear my view. Please, Let me express my view for once. Now, Kumi and his people, now that I recognize that they made a mistake, every one of them, because of trust. Now that you have seen the dirty politics in Liberia, accept it as it is. Accept it as it is. You come back and say, okay, Liberian people, I came into this process. Yeah, my hand, I got clean hand, and Kumi has clean hand. I have not done anything illegal in my life, and we can say that, because if he did, he won't be serving.
Are they your words or the words of his colleagues that he collaborating with?
Mr. So I'm not going to say whoever words. I'm just saying what Kumi should do. Yeah, my hand are clean. Now, I'm here. Whatever position you Liberian people, whatever position you want me to serve, I'm ready to serve. And leave it as that. And leave it as that. Don't fight with anybody, because this thing, to be honest with you, and that's why I always call you shut. And I'm being very honest here. And you can record me and play it over and over. This thing, if Kumi is shiny, Kumi is shiny. You know the back home in the army, the army boboko, when it's shining, you can see your face in it. Kumi is shining. We and those of us that support Dr. Baka, because of this document, we're not shining. It make us look like we're crooks. It makes Dr. Baka, who also has a clean head, look like he's somebody who is unable to govern. It makes Dr. Baka, who also has a clean head, make him look like somebody who is unable to unify. And this Kumi situation is bad for us. And that's why we want to put it behind us. But you keep bringing it up. You keep bringing it up. So I'm saying to you, I'm saying, yeah, they're your journalist business. You keep bringing this thing up. We said we're finished with it. We're moving on. Why are you bringing it on again?
How?
So, Mr. So, I don't worry about how. Let me just tell you this. Kumi and his people, they got it. They got it.
Are you part of the problem, Mr. To?
In a sense, yes.
What do you mean by in a sense?
Because I have many of the time here, I was not able to come out and actually, I've been saying it, but I've not said it forcefully as I'm saying now.
Was that a poor judgment on your part?
Mr. So, the liberal don't go that low.
Is that yes to my question?
Mr. So, I'm a liberal. I don't go behind. If you want, ask me, call me later and we can talk about it. Mr. So, one thing I want you to know, the CPP has soul. We have soul. We are human beings. We make mistakes.
So yeah, what happens? When human beings make mistake, they must have the balls to come out, say we kick the can down the road. But you want to bury people alive. And you say you have soul. You don't have soul. Come on, stop that. Do you?
Mr. Soul, we are Christian. Liberia is a Christian and Muslim. Liberia is a Christian and Muslim nation. We believe in a higher power. Please allow us to say that we have soul. You can't come out here in public and say we don't have souls.
Your talking point does not suggest that you have. I'm reading and you're trying to take me to St. Moses funeral home and say, you hold this guy here, he's a dead man. And you telling me, say, I should hold on. That's what you're doing.
So what exactly you want out of this thing?
This is what it's supposed to do. Not exactly what I want. What I want out of it, I want the best to come out of Liberia. People,
so help us to elect Dr. Bakai.
You're trying to take a short call line here, and I'm not off for that. That's a quick fix you're trying to do. And this quick fix situation is what I got into this place here. We never have this sort of tense conversation, and this is what we got today with benevolent detectors and all of this kind of stuff going on here. So here is the thing here. We brought a guy here yesterday, and all of them right now, all the people that were just all over the place that created this sort of chaotic and dramatic, unnecessary situation. You have caused us to delay. You have distracted the real talking point that Liberians should be focused on. You lose balance, you lose sight, and you don't have the courage. So what that does now, I'm afraid that even if you guys get there, tomorrow you're not able to face the microphone to say, I'm sorry, we will come back to the same situation. Your
Okay.
creator, hold
Let's
on.
have assumption.
No,
Try us.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
No.
Try us and see if we will fail you.
It's not a laboratory for us to come be. They have enough laboratory that they even found the real cause of this Omicron virus here. So if you want to just build a laboratory without technicians, we're not going to accept that. Here, what the people needs to do. The guy you support, and this is where the disappointment came from. I thought he was going to play this sort of stewardship role as the elder, as the older person under the palm one tree. When he had that interview to rehash the disgusting and ridiculous comments of your political leaders, Nyombi Kangalore, to have repeated that justifies that some crime is being committed. Because what they did was throw this bunch of propagandas at the Cummins people, which they are unsophisticated to handle it. It came in a visual context and define it, and they allow it to blow up. Here we are. If there are some people, what is a big deal to say, you know what we thought it was, that's not the case. Moving forward, we have had this conversation, but what I want to do, you want to bury the chicken alive. Do you think if somebody did that to you, will you still
Mr. Soul,
can you give me a chance? So
no, I want you to know I'm not speaking
let me ask the question. Where is the report? We having problem with it. You are just talking about the judicial system. When investigations are conducted and concluded, what happens? Report is made public. Where is the report? What is the outcome of this investigation? It's
Mr. Soul, Mr. Soul, those who are responsible, responsible for the report will make it public when the time. We have system. I want you to understand this.
Yeah, at this point in time, there is no system.
CPP is not being run in vacuum. We have system. And we have, no, it's not. We going to follow that, whether you want it or whether you like it or not. It really doesn't matter. We have a system, and we're going to follow the system to the letter. Everything that is being done by CPP, according to me, and by the way, I'm not speaking for CPP here tonight, and I'm not speaking for anybody except for my own opinion. By the way, so CPP, whatever that is happening, they have system, and let's respect that. Let's accept them to do what is good for us.
Do you think you seem to have a little bit insight of what is going on here? Do you think they will have the political will to incorporate some other political parties, because their ultimate goal here is to unseat this government to be changed? That's the primary goal of the opposition. Do you think they will expand their political strength based?
I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but I will hope. Because if other people out there that are like-minded, with the CPP, of course they're welcome to it.
Would people trust them to come in saying what is happening? Would they trust them to do business with them?
Trust who? Trust who? CPP has no trust issue. CPP has no trust deficit. CPP is for the trustworthy people. CPP, Mr. Soul, if you don't know this, Mr. Soul, if you don't know that, CPP is a bucket full of trust. No trust deficit. We're not sedition. CPP, I'm talking to you. Look at me. Do I look at somebody that cannot be trusted? No. And look at Senator Dallas Dillon, the light of the Republic of Life. Does he look at somebody that look at Honorable Alexander Cummings? Does he look at somebody that cannot be? Look at Dr. Buckeye. Does he look at somebody who cannot be trusted?
Cummings denounce you here. You started this trumpet here. You started blowing this trumpet here. Go on top, go on. And Comey came on this network here until he said, but the game have not even started. Right?
Oh my goodness. Why do we have why do we have to bring that back up again?
So,
Are you trying to
okay.
derail my talking point, Mr. So? Ain't
Uh,
happening.
so let's look at Gonglo here. Let's do a profiling. We are still doing the search to know some of the people that are within the system within the Gonglo's war. I listened to partial some of it here. He has not come up with his economic plan. One Dr. Kamara, they call themselves Friends of Gonglo. I'm not sure whether it's a super PAC that as in the case of Global ANC, but we're going to be hearing it. What do you think his what is he getting at here? Is he going to align himself, or is there some who, if Gongo stays into this whole process here, who you think you're going to disadvantage politically? Nima is usual. Tribal politics, it cannot be ignored in Liberia. I don't care what people say. That tribal politics.
This is purely speculation. And like I said, I'm Blaku. I can do that. I can speculate anytime I want. The issue of who's going to be benefiting if Honorable Gonglo gets in the race seriously. What I suspect is this. Honorable Gonglo getting into the race is not to the detriment of Dr. Bakai. I think Honorable Gonglo has made some political calculations to say that Comey was losing ground. And perhaps knowing full well, can I finish my statement? You have to let me finish my statement. You can't continue to do this Sean Hannity type of interview. You have to let me finish my. I know you and the Fox News and Donald Trump, all of you guys, all of you have good friends over there. But please let the liberal speak. The liberal is on your show. That's okay. So let him speak. So the point here, Mr. So speculation, as I said. So I would think that because Gonglo has noticed, and Gonglo is a very smart man, as I stated before, has noticed that perhaps this whole debacle of the CPP and now holding, then perhaps there's a room now that perhaps he can walk through. And so coming in this way, recognizing that perhaps there's an opening, and politically, you take chance. So now he's taking that chance to say, hey, I'm here too. Don't just come here alone. We all know that here. Masaya here too. That Waka, Masaya here too, so to speak. But my point is this. If my speculation is correct, then it's wrong. Because Honorable Gonglo has been in the vanguard fighting for the Liberian people in terms of law and how the law is supposed to protect every Liberian and not just the rich and the powerful. And this is why he knows he has a very good insight, because he's not a rich person. He comes from a poor background. But then you saw the same thing.
I don't want to hear this poor ratio because the poor people.
So because I can't say that about. I can't say the same thing about what's his name, Sharma, Vani Sharma. I can't say that kind of stuff about Vani Sharma. So Honorable Gonglo has a good insight of what is happening and what's wrong with the judiciary system in Liberia. And for me, I truly believe that since he has that good insight, from my perspective, he also have the ability to fix it.
Okay, yeah. I think you made a very good analysis here. And this is a kind of talking point that we want to be discussing here. We want to get outside of the box. But you guys always like to put yourself in a cartoon, like brother man say, or put yourself in a box and see yourself or to suffocate yourself. I think that is a critical point, because the issue of this Gonglo here is being in the air. And that's what I was asking the question as to whether the CPP, this collaboration, really have the ability to get outside of their box to incorporate people, because they are still not organized. And in politics, little thing, people slip and they can make sense of that. I thought maybe all of this whole thing here, they will expand themselves to incorporate, to bring other people on to solidify their base, to see their base to be more credible, to say, okay, it's going to be a more diverse, by putting certain character or bringing certain people there to say, okay, to get a sense that, yes, when these people take state power, we can easily guess this is how situation going to look like. But it looks like the four parties just got together and just think they are the King Kongs and they can just get it done. And here we are. Every other, I'm not sure what are going to be the end of another candidate jumping in the race. And anybody could come. Are they call it ARCOP or whatever? Anybody can come. But
Mr. So, let me just say something very quickly. Honorable Gonglo most likely will not, unless when the CPP process is over and have they come out and select their standard bearer, then perhaps. But right now, I don't see Honorable Gonglo align himself with CPP, and the reason being, he having that kinds of status in the eyes of the law to now align himself with CPP.
So why they can't lie? Why?
Well, this is and this is going to be controversial, but I will make that point anyway.
You always are controversial, guys.
It doesn't matter. In CPP, we have Ben Layure. Okay. And Ben Layure, as you know, people have accused him of different issues. And so to have a premier lawyer, someone who is saying that he's staying for the right of the Liberian people. Now somebody to come and align himself with a party that has Ben Layure as one of the standard pillar in that party. I don't see it. I don't see it. Because then how do he defend himself with other foreign dignitaries who are lawyers themselves? How does he now come out to say, what does he say to them? So I don't see him coming forward with the CPP because of that.
Lebro, you are sounding very interesting there. You just called one name. Is there any other name?
None of your business. I said that none of your business.
Wow. So he is the only Buku man in CPP?
Mr. So I didn't say that. You don't try to put words in my mouth.
But people like that connotation alone.
Well, I explained myself.
Oh, now I got the point. I see where this whole debacle is coming from. It looks like, and I could be wrong, and I will give you the opportunity to speak to it before we sign off. I'm thinking here, I'm processing here as to the reason why maybe Kumin wasn't welcome within the Bellwell, because perhaps he's not speaking their language. Perhaps he's not acting like them. Perhaps he's not doing their will. So it looks like three put together, and perhaps they try to initiate him, and that didn't work, and that's how things falling apart. Could that possibly be the reason?
Not from my perspective.
From whose perspective?
Maybe from yours. But the point that I'm making here about Honorable Gonglo, and it's not that Honorable Ben Layure has been accused or been adjudicated and found guilty. That's not the point. But the speculations and the papers and the records and documents are out there. So the issue is Gonglo also has foreign friends that are looking up to him as a legal luminary in Liberia, and so to have him to be part of this CPP that has someone who is not being character is being questioned. So then the issue: how does he Gonglo explain to his friends why did you join those people? What did he say? So I don't, because of that, my belief is I don't see him joining CPPs right now.
So do you see Uri as a problem, the problem child within the CPP?
Mr. Soul, why that your journalist school you went to? That not for my business. Oh. That not for my business. That not why I say. I just speculating. Now you're gonna say that then you want to tie me around here? You can't tie me like that. All that journal degree you got, don't bring it to me. Don't bring it to me.
Okay, on a serious note here, let's make it a little bit proportional here. What is the real issue challenge? We're going to do it equally. The two major factors into this whole 2023 year is the coalition, the ruling establishment, and that is the CPP, despite of what is going on here. Let's start from the CDC here before we wrap up here. What is politically, in your own view, your opinion, or what about that you get on top of your head? What you think is the challenge with the ruling establishment right now? And then we'll talk about the CPP. What do they, if they are to retain office? That's not what I'm suggesting, and I don't think that's why you're going to even go into. What do they need to do right now?
CDC problem, the way I see it, is misinformation. They have serious problem of trying to inform Liberians about what they're doing. Right now, you're talking about roads. There are road construction in the southeast that is going on right now. But until you have somebody to explain to you, you won't know that. As we speak, there's serious road construction that is going on in southeast. They're not talking about that. As we speak, the security issue in Monrovia, many people will wake up tomorrow morning alive. They're not talking about it. So CDC issue is this. They tend to put their foot in their mouth very quickly. And when they do something that is good, for them to expand on that, they don't do that. They had the president going to Europe quite recently. And he did very well. His foreign trip, he did very well. But they did not capitalize on it. In fact, while he was in Europe, you have the three amigos coming here in the United States and taking pictures with Lindsey Graham and taking pictures with Ted Cruz here in the United States.
That was the worst propaganda.
Exactly.
Worst thing I ever saw.
So CDC issue is management. And the fact that they are unable to explain to the people. Up to this point, the new money that they brought to Liberia, no good explanation has come out of them. And they have a real, credible reason to do what they did. But wait till somebody get hold of that. And somebody try to improvise.
Oh, yeah.
And then things are going downhill for them. So the issue is just like they're doing with the Centennial, the bicentennial. They're not explaining exactly what they intend to do. No. So many Liberians will now go ahead and say, okay, this is what they want to do. They will improvise. Yeah. And lastly on CDC, Mr. So lastly on CDC, before I tell you about CPP, then we can wrap up. Lastly, the CDC themselves is the three amigos that will bring the party down because they refuse to allow any other person to shine. This is a group thing. You cannot supersede or put your own self above the group. You can't do that if you're in a group setting. Everything must be about the group, and the group must seek each other's interest. But the three amigos, Honorable McGill, Honorable Twer, and Law Major Honorable Jefferson Kochi, that's it. You don't hear anybody else. So the chairman of the party, at this time, you have less than 2-3 years for an election. The chairman should be showcased all over. Should be meeting the president at the executive mansion, having all the photo ops, so that when Chairman Monu goes out to campaign, people will believe in him. But nothing like that's happening.
Yeah.
Chairman Monu was just be swimming all by himself. CDC has a serious problem.
Okay, let me just recap here and then we'll go to it. And I think that's a fair and good analysis. And what I grabbed from there is they have serious issues of processing information. even if they have it, how to process it and how it for the citizenry to benefit from it, that's a difficult task. And so I can say politically, the removal and considering what is coming, I think maybe what the president would have done, if maybe real, if people was, real political gurus were advising him, probably Eugene Fagon would have been brought to party headquarters ahead of the election, because there he can do all of the dirty work and all of that. They didn't do that, so that's part of it. They have problem with processing their information, information dissemination. They can't stay in the news in the eyes of the public for 12 hours. Somebody going to kick the can down the road. Let's be like the realistic here. Let's come home from here with the group that you support. If the CPP is to survive, the presidency mean to say, what these four political parties, their leaders, and maybe we can include their surrogates, some of those people that give the soundbite for them. What do they need to do now?
Let me be ridiculous. Let me be ridiculous on this one. If CPP as a group, in as much as I say here every night, and that's not going to change my position, but I'll be ridiculous anyway. If CPP is as a group is to be fully trusted by the Liberian people, I think they need to come out clean and apologize strongly to Honorable Cummings.
Oh,
without any justification, without any kinds of say, oh, we did it. No explanation publicly.
Another kind of type of they have another type of public relation. You come to the media, you call all of the media industry, you come 2 minutes press conference, members of the Free Press, for estate, blah 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 blah, statement finished. No question, no.
I said no explanation. We apologize for the mayhem that was caused without even attributing any kinds of blame to anyone. Just do a public apology to Honorable Cummings. Because here's the thing here. Liberians, and this has nothing to do with Dr. Weah personally.
So basically, these four, three guys,
they're gonna have to show themselves again. Once again, show themselves like that.
Yeah, the old man in the suit, that is that brown suit or what?
Mr. So why do we have to be so particular about Dr.
And the guy, I'm coming to order them. The guy hand in his pocket. This is the trouble man in this whole group. Yeah,
Mr. So there's no trouble man among them. These are all honorable people. Mr. So these are all honorable people. There's no trouble man behavior.
The lady in the flare skate.
She's also my political leader and one of the best of all time. Let me make my point, please, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So I would say, in order for them to be credible once again, truly credible, they have to come and apologize without saying anything else. Now, the issue here is this, Mr. So. Once that is done, then Dr. Waka, whoever, will have to take extra time to tell the Liberian people, don't give up hope. Because of them, many Liberians pin their hopes of the future on CPP. Because of them, many Liberians, especially many sedition, were able to turn their back.
Do they get that concept? Do they get that concept? I said, do they get their concept?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying to you. I hope they do. Meaning because of what they said they were going to do for Liberia. Many Liberians, including sedition, turned their back on CDC during the 2020 senatorial election. That was painful for many sedition who voted for CPP. That was painful, very painful. But they felt that this group has something to offer. And then in midterm, now you're going to start check out everything because you want Liberians to be confused. And Liberians are confused as far as I'm concerned right now because of CPP inept behavior.
Are you confused?
Excuse me?
Are you confused too?
No, I'm not. If I was confused, would I call them inept? I'm not confused. I know exactly what they're doing. However, they're now going to come back, and Dr. Baka, whoever it is, explain to the Liberian people, we got it. We got it. We're human beings like any other person. We make mistakes, but let's move on. Trust us. We will deliver for you. Mr. So, once that statement is made, you and Mr. Amon Joyce, the center right, none of you will do anything.
What we gotta do it? Why me? Why?
Because your conservative view continue to intrude into our business.
Oh, are we not part of the country?
You CPP member?
Do I have to be a CPP member before I can be before Liberia can?
Do you vote? Do you vote in Liberia? You got voting power in Liberia?
Of course, I'm heading there right now.
You want to go vote? You want to vote?
Can these guys? Let's see. Another great component here is their surrogates. They are people.
The surrogate, Mr. So.
Can they contain them? No. The reason I'm asking here, if they are to be a unified force, right? If I'm supporting Cummings, if I'm supporting Boyka, there must be a condensed message. There must be a central message. I don't know how to understand the work. Or we're not together here. We're doing this. You have been granted the permission by NEC. You are collaborating as one unit, as one force. So why would one person come and giving another group of people come? And I don't know. Maybe they claim these people not represent
Mr.
them.
So,
confuses the citizenry as well.
Mr. So, your statement siding me because you're very much enlightening. You're not Johnny come lately, and now you make these kinds of statements. It's siding me.
Because
now,
quite recently.
Quite recently.
I think we need to end this program.
No. You can. I end the program like that. Let me finish my statement, please. Don't try to bamboozle me into accepting your conservative view this evening. Now, Mr. So, quite recently, in your own county, there was an incident where there was two gentlemen were vying for the position of Chen District representative. And one of them was being backed truly by the entire CDC political apparatus.
Yeah.
Okay. And Honorable Zoe Pennon, Senator Zoe Pennon, was on record of saying that the other person who was not being backed by CDC would not get any position or anything in that county as far as he's concerned. And guess what? CDC men were flocked massively.
Do you know that when it's a so-called identify whatever injunction or whatever, do you know that's one of the reasons for which it's so crazy? The behavior, that's the greediness of the thing.
They're not going to be successful.
Yeah, and before we go, and that's the frustrations of this political institution. Can you imagine somebody representing a political? Is that you necessarily have to do it?
They're not going to derail. They're not going to derail anything. In fact, the more they try to waste the time of the Chen District people, the more trouble they will have the next time. Remember,
they're making it more difficult for the party because
exactly. Yeah. Remember, the guys who are going to be there for 3 years, and then after that, I mean, 2 years after that, they're going to come back. But if they start playing games, the Chen District people will be more upset with. But the point of me bringing this up, Mr. So, is this. On a general scale now, Liberians are sophisticated now. So you're not going to, because of the surrogate, and somebody who Samson told who has no connection with CPP will sit here and start bad-mouthing anybody else. And you expect the people to follow me because I got my big mouth. No.
Okay.
The CPP surrogate, they surrogate themselves. Whatever they say, they have the freedom to say whatever they want to say. But when at the end of the day, the Liberians down back home, not those of us that here got no voting right, the Liberian back home will listen to their leaders. And that is Dr. Bakai, Mr. So, Dr. Bakai. Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate it.
Okay, that's how we're going to draw down the curtain here this evening. As usual, the most liberal progressive on this network, Samson Blocko Bronto. Mr. Toa, I want to thank you so much for always having the strength to stand up, for things that you strongly have conviction, passions, and beliefs in. It's a good conversation. We are doing this because we want better Liberia. We just do not want liberal messages swear way. Opposition, imposition, GOL, everybody should go through a good strengthening. We need to know where these people stand. We need to start hearing what they represent. It's not just all about I want to be president. Why you want to be president for? You have to tell us. There are things that are affecting the country. The Liberal, I want to thank you so much for the time. Are you coming on tomorrow? No.
No. I think I will do my
Right.
some,
You are exhausted. I beat you all right.
Mr. Soul. Does it look? Do I look like somebody the conservative would beat up?
You looks a little bit tired. Yeah,
No,
but
I'm not. What I want you to do next time when we come out here to help yourself, get Sean Hannity, get Tucker Carlson, and get the ridiculous people on Fox News to come and help you to continue this liberal.
Why you try to alarm me with Fox News? That's the second time saying it. Why?
Mr. Shaw, because your view are conservative. You are far right conservative. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you some
All right.
questions.
We can't really get these programs.
I know that, but I just want to ask you one question, and then the public will know where you stand.
When you come Wednesday, you can ask that question.
All right. Okay. I'll let it go.
All right. Okay. The Liberals, we want to thank you so much for the time here. We've been sending this out here. Folks, again, let me just repeat this here. We want to thank you so much, all of our viewers, followers in Liberia, Europe, and in part, wherever you are watching. It's a serious business in Liberia. And I think all of us, besides us sitting behind the microphone, that shouldn't just be it. All of us should have shared responsibility when we're talking about Liberia. We must be serious. Even if you are supporting a candidate, you need to ask these people exactly the reason. Let them tell you something. Hold them accountable. You don't want tomorrow you elect somebody and then they can't tell you, then you end up telling them. So maybe we need to put up something here. People that strongly believes in Honorable Boyka, people that strongly believes in Honorable Cummings' political ideologies, they are Gonglo, the Cassell, or whoever, or people they are the independents. I don't know whether we have one. Of course, we have some free thinker. Let us know. We will bring you here, and we can have this conversation, not just only these politicians, because when we leave it with these people, we will just be hearing the same thing over and over. They come here, they say they 1 year, the next day they come and say, oh no, I didn't say A, I thought this is so. So I think we need to create a sort of talking point here where people can, we'll talk to people here. Anybody who have an interest in that, let us know, so that we can have this here. Don't leave it. Don't leave it to them. There's a reason you are supporting these very candidates, and that's okay. But we need to have a conversation. The Liberal, how you see it? Don't you think it makes sense?
But that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been having conversation.
I'm talking about the viewers.
No, the viewers need to participate.
I know people but let them come through video too.
Yeah.
Let them tell us. Maybe there are tons of reasons for which they are supporting these individuals, and their talking point should.
But I think one of the things that will help the viewer, if you want them to come through video, you need to send them the link.
Yeah, but somebody got to say, okay, I want to come. There's a guy who posted his link here. One time I call him, I message him. He's not even picking up. He's not.
Well, why don't we experiment? Of course, this is a public forum here. You don't experiment much, but why don't we try something where we put a link out here, just like you put a phone number, and people call, except you set a rule to say nobody laying down in bed to talk. You want to talk, you got to sit down like all of us. I'm not in bed. You're not in bed. So we don't want people laying down in bed to talk to us. This is not that type of program. You put a link. You can paste the link out here, and those who want to get in will copy the link, put it on their stuff, and they will get in.
let me give you a send home warrior tonight, because we already ended in a number. You know this network here, so we're not just going to throw anything out there. We people tell us they want to come on, we give them. We're not going to mentor them what they will say, but there are rules. It's not just, we're not in an entertainment business here. This is not an entertainment business. We're on a real business. So, but I want the phone number is there, the 682. That's the number here. Let me just put it all here. You can send me a text. It's on WhatsApp. It's a regular number. Send a text, and you want to come on, let us know, and we can bring you here. We think we should, all of us should have a great conversation in there. But Wednesday, I'm going to be having this group here. The county meet is on. We want to remind all of you, support your county, show love. That's how they're going to listen to you. This group, they call themselves Jita Sport Fan Base. They own what they call a $1 rally to support their county sport team, which is a good initiative. So if you're from Maryland, you're from Mount Gibby, you're from Lofa, whatever county, as long as you're from Liberia, and you want to engage into a conversation to energize your county sporting, let us know. We will also bring you here. We'll do it fair. Kev say he want to come. Maki, he's starting trouble here. He said Kev say he want to come. But what's wrong with that? Yeah, Kev can come. I mean, I would love to talk to Kev Hassan. That would be good. I don't.
Well, Kev comes here. I mean, he has the right to be here.
Yeah,
we'll be willing to have him.
We don't sanction people, Kev, anybody. We brought Prophet Key here before, but we told him things that we accept. Not all language, not all words are applicable here, like in your case. And I think he laid by our rules, so that went well. Okay, Deliberate, thank you so much, and to our viewers, we want to thank you so much. Always follow us the social media on Facebook. We get a Twitter handle, our YouTube channel. Just subscribe, that way you get an alert when we are on. And you can watch live video on our official website. That is www.liberalpublicradio.com, where you see a lot of news, local and international news. And you can watch live video simultaneously like we broadcast here. The Liberal, thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening, my man. You the man.
You too, sir. Thank you very much. Good night, folks.
All right.
Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband fall in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live easy around, if they insult you because you don't have nobody.
Well, folks, that's how we're going to put the curtain down. Fatit, thank you so much. And all of our beautiful people, if they're your first time tuning into this network, visit the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I'm Alfonso Z, and so we're always here to bring you news, information, and entertainment. Thank you so much for your time this beautiful evening. Let's keep discussing. Let's keep Liberia in mind. Liberia is our only proud, so we can give up. We know we are in a consequential time, but let's keep the conversation going, and we must be civil and be respectful to one another.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Lord, help me let it go, man.
Mighty blow. Holla. Nobody.
The biggest sporting event in Liberia since 1956 is here once more. It's the 2021-2022 National County Sports Meet. The theme for this year's National County Sports Meet is commemorating 200 years of togetherness through sports.
The questions on everybody's lips. Will Lopa County retain the football trophy and take it back to Wagisi? Or will one of the other 14 counties wrestle it from there? How determined is Grand Bassa County to hold on to the kickball crown? And who wins basketball and volleyball? Dublin. Now here are the pairings. In Group A, Mangibi County will play host to Monterrado, Grand Bassa, and River G counties. While in Group B, Nipa County will play host to Grand Crew, River Cess, and Bone counties. Group C features Great Gideon as host and includes Sinop and Maryland. While Group D have Bonny County as host and include the defending champions Lopa, Great Cape Mount, and Bapolo County. This year event kicks off with Mangibi County going toe-to-toe with Grand Bassa County in the first football and kickball matches. The prime sponsors of the 2021-2022 National County Meet is Orange Liberia. Gold sponsors are Sila Metal. Other sponsors are Nasco, Green Petroleum, Liska, APM Terminal, Dustbed, and Heineken. It's commemorating 200 years of togetherness through sports. The theme of this year's National County Sports Meet. Let's come and celebrate. National County Meet. Let's come and celebrate.
Okay, that's it. That's the National County Meet. It starts very soon. By the way, on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be hosting the Assistant Minister of Sport, William Tor. He is, our understanding, he is the chairperson of this year 2020-21 County Sport Meet in Liberia. He's going to be my guest here at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, I'm going to be hosting this group called Jida Sport Fan Base. They are on what they call a rally, $1 rally to support the county sport meet. So it seems to be a good idea as long as the money will be used for that purpose. And the good thing is, other than they are back home, they're going to be my guests as well. So if you are from Lofa, Maryland, Mangibi, hey, try and chip into your own county as well. That's part of giving back. Regardless of what is, politicians, you do your part and let history recall you. And if you think you're here and you guys want to get a message out to your constituents, let us know. We can also bring you here equally to rally your counties. Sports unify people. It brings people together. So that's something we must embrace, and then politics can follow. Until then, to have a pleasant evening, and thank you for your time this beautiful evening here. And we really do appreciate your time, your conversation, to your tweets, your comments. We usually go back there and read other than and look at it as well. Don't hesitate to send us suggestions as to how we can enhance the broadcasting, things that we need to fix. If there's anything to be fixed, of course, nothing is 100%. Your suggestions will always be welcome. You are most welcome to differ with us in our talking point, in our analysis, and as well. But let us just do it with civility, with respect, and be persuasive in our argument. Until then, I am Afonso Zeensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.